Yeah, so we are going to be going into our second map of the night, which is going to be Seagulls in red again against iOS. I'm not going to be repeating their name again and again. I'm just going to call them iOS. And we're going to run through the roster. We'll start with iOS. Do you want to take us through that? I think they've got their correct classes in game, although they appear to be missing a scout.
Okay, iOS, we've got Swedish Santa on Medic, we've got Bonneville on Demo Man, we've got Deox on Scout. We have 3 soldiers on the team right now, so I'm sure one of these 3 soldiers will be a scout, but they are Phoenix, Nesh, and Ickfiz? Yeah, that...
We're having difficulty pronouncing their names.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just make it up, you know? I'll roll with it, whatever you decide. You give them a name, I'll roll with it.
I'm going to call him Steve.
Steve, okay. Maybe I won't roll with Steve.
Oh,
I think I'll forget it halfway through. Yeah, so I know Swedish Santa vaguely. I think he plays Highlander. Does he play Highlander Pyro?
Yeah, he played Highlander Pyro. He was actually the pyro that wanted to be the Swedish's best pyro in the whole wide world. He made a big thread about it, and everyone was like, "Pah, Swedish Santa."
And I think I know Ichthys as well from various DM servers and stuff like that. It does look like we're going to have Nesh and Deox on the scout classes as one team is readied up quickly to run through. Then the roster for Seagulls is going to be the same as last map with Exo on the medic, Kane on Demo Man. Their soldiers are going to be Calicul and P with the scouts of Shalala and Zoosh.
Well, it's going to be an exciting game either way. Like if it's anything like the last game, where it was quite the nail biter, going back all the way to the golden cap. But I am interested to see how iOS, like what they bring to the table. Maybe they'll bring some new creative strategies, like a new last hold or something like that, or maybe a different way to die on Spire.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see the differences between teams and how they play maps, and especially when it's a map that hasn't been played very much and people are still formulating ideas, positioning, where to hold, etc, etc. What I am hoping for is some aggression on mid. I like the scout aggression in the Golden Cap actually coming out from Project 01. Unfortunately, they didn't quite follow up on it just enough. And I'm really hoping we're going to see some incredible soldier bombs and scouts playing around these rocks and going aggressive.
And it's actually kind of nice watching these lower divs because you know just like anything could happen. Like anything could happen. Like if you think back to like high div, as we're going live actually I believe. I'm going to follow let's see, let's follow a scout for once. Let's follow Zushi. Zushi played well in the last game I think, so I think he earns himself a bit of the highlight here as he decides to roll out on this left hand side of the map, going through cave. Let's see what
T's gone really aggressive though. Sorry to cut you off, but T jumped all the way forwards and he did pull out the aggression because he took down the Demo Man for iOS.
Oh my word, and it seems like Callie's just deciding to take up on this aggression as well, following in on his team's like almost like motto about aggression, and just pushing in. It's like manages to force out to the blue team there. Blue team backing out, you know, quite immediately almost on that that aggression from T, just realizing how much they've lost the mid, you know, straight away.
Yeah, and actually the Uber has been forced from Swedish Santa. Exo is still only on 90% because his team took almost no damage on mid, so they haven't been building properly. And Kane's going to get dropped here if Ichthys can actually get onto him in time. No, Exo manages to save Kane, and that's going to be such a big play there as Ichthys and Phoenix both get taken out. And Deox now, so they're going to be rolling this all the way to last. Swedish Santa and the Demo Man from iOS sticking off that secret, and they've got a big job on their hands if they want to try and defend this. They're not able to do it, and Seagulls are going to take the first round.
Oh my word. But it seems like the issue there was like they popped that Uber, but Spire was already capped. And with Red Team knowing that, they just backed off to their half of the map, and knowing that, you know, pushing past that point would just be incredibly difficult.
Yeah, I think it was bad positioning from iOS there, but we're coming to the second mid, and it looks like Boonveld has got some damage onto Kane. Kane not even present in this mid fight at the moment, so that's a lot of damage missing from this initial mid fight. And now he takes the sticky trap onto the healthcare, and he has managed to take him down.
Yeah, Phoenix manages to push off of that Doberman pick and goes in with a big bomb, but it seems like his team just kind of left him in the wind. A scout comes to help him out on the flank a bit. They seem to both be low health behind Seagulls right now, and Seagulls are a bit indecisive what they want to do. Do they back out? Do they stay? Either way, they get punished for it. As
Phoenix is actually bombed in there, trying to chase them down, and has killed Exo, and now Ichthys comes in, helping out his brother, and destroys Kane. So that was the last pockets of resistance there from Seagulls, and that's a dominating mid-fight from iOS.
Good job, Steve. Good job.
Well played, Steve. It looks like Zushi really wants to get forward here on this choke point, and T's going to be hiding, waiting for the force as well. I'm not sure if they realise that Swedish Santa doesn't actually have Uber at the moment.
Yeah, but he has Uber advantage.
He does have an Uber advantage, but they want to be taking better position than this. They have dropped back, so they're not in hiding spots anymore. They're ready to put some spam out. Kane putting spam on Gandalf's Summer Cave, as T and Shalala are looking on the banana. That was the original name, man. Cave.
The original
Blame
name.
Clive.
Well, yeah, it seems like they do have 100% now, but it seems like they don't want to do anything in it. It just seems like they just want to, hold back on mid, content with just having the mid advantage, I suppose. But this is in the golden cap of 2007. Having a mid isn't going to get them anything anytime soon unless they push.
Yeah, Swedish Santa had quite a significant Uber advantage, definitely enough to push with, but they've decided not to push into Seagulls, who do have the height advantage there as they're sat on Spire. But I think with a bit of aggression around that choke point, it's very easy to get in without actually using your Uber and send some players up to take the high ground.
You know what this means? It's more stalemates.
Yeah, but I think it looks like iOS want to put a soldier in through choke to try and bomb, and there he goes, Phoenix with a double skip jump, and now another rocket jump. He gets onto XO, 2 rockets, unfortunately gets taken out before he can land another rocket and secure that. But Deox is running at the same time and manages to take down the Demo Man from Seagulls. That's going to stunt any kind of push that they wanted.
Yeah, but he does get punished for it, I'm afraid, by both of the scouts.
T launching in with the counter bomb, putting a lot of damage out, and Calico following up as well. That was a really nice double soldier play there. T taking all the initial damage, and then Calico coming in afterwards after T had backed off. That was really nice double soldier play there.
But at what cost? Now they've barely got players to use this Uber on. All this is Uber advantage. And keep in mind that blue team still have the mid advantage. They're going to get those forward respawns in, but it seems like they're just throwing away players that are just trying to create these little fights that aren't really going to help.
Yeah, Seagulls Uber there did manage to actually isolate 2 players, so they had those picks ready if they could focus them down, which they did manage to do. So that was Ichthys and Phoenix who went down, and now iOS are going to be hard pressed to mount a defense on this Spire.
Seagulls are just coming in onto this left side for free. They've just killed a scout, and it seems blue have just left their scout in the wind and just left him to die. Poor defense, I believe, by iOS there, just giving up the second point. What seems like almost no reason. Yeah,
they've decided to give up their second point, and if they hadn't thrown Phoenix away there, I think they would have bought enough time to secure their Uber for last. As it is, the Seagulls have decided not to push on a 2-pick advantage, instead waiting for their Uber charge, and that is going to allow Swedish Santa.
Take out Deox immediately, but the blue do have an Uber. It comes out now as T bombs in, gets some damage in. He actually manages to kill the scout and craters himself. All is done, and the scout is still just hanging out in his right hand side, high ground. And both scouts go in. One scout goes taken out by a sticky trap. Kane is still fighting, doing an excellent job, really. Managed to save lives, hitting these awesome pipes. Oh my word, he's hit. That blue demo man, I can't pronounce that name. Blue. Wow.
Yeah, that'll do. That was pretty good. Burr. And it looked like Seagulls were in such a good position there. Kane had killed a lot of people, and they still had 2 scouts alive, but Shalala was incredibly weak. And so, by baiting himself onto the point, I think he really wanted Zushi to try and take the frags, but he backed out to meet up with XO and get a buff and meet the respawners, and that's just equalised this situation with the Seagulls holding Spire with a 30% advantage as well. But they've given their lobby to iOS, and they're making full use of it. Unlike Project 01 from the previous map, iOS not afraid to take control of this lobby area and try and engineer some picks with the space that they have.
Yeah, iOS managed to create this almost forward hold, it seems. Quite a difficult map, I would say, to create a forward hold. It just seems like so wide. You'd have your team just spread so thinly, but it seems like they noticed this and back out to last.
Yeah, they have retreated back now as the Ubers are on 100% for each team. And it looks like they want to take this Uber in here, Seagulls. They're milling around in the lobby trying to decide the best way to push, but they're up on the top right-hand side at the moment.
No, it just seems like quite indecisive. Switching over to the right side, going, no, I don't feel like this. Switching back to the left, coming back to the right, then going back to the left. Man, they just don't know what to do. Maybe they'll just like suicide a player in and maybe get an off-class going.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility as well. The sniper sightlines on this last point, not very good, but a spy or a heavy could be very effective.
But yeah, I guess during this stalemate, we could take this time to talk about the last point on Logjam here. It's very reminiscent of Gullywash, it seems.
It is. Sorry to cut you off there, but the Ubers have come in from the right-hand side. Calico actually leading this Uber with Shalala, but they drop Zushi immediately, and Calico goes down. This is a train wreck for Seagulls. It looks like Phoenix is really attempting to force his Uber out, and it does eventually go, but Kane's going to get locked in here in secret, and EXO is going to manage to escape, but that's going to drop the Spire into the hands, nicely into the hands of iOS. And they might be able to take this on to the second point, but it looks like they're getting spawners fairly quickly. They'll have to stack this point if they don't want Kane to get a forward spawn as well.
Yeah, bad news bears for Seagulls. The only redeeming factor was EXO has managed to stay alive throughout the entirety of that, and they're just managing to create a little forward hold here on their med port.
Yeah, and the Ubers have stabilised themselves as well. EXO managing to get out of that disastrous last push has allowed them to keep the Ubers equal. I'll tell you what's grabbed my attention though. Calico is running the Conqueror, whatever that item is called. We know what he does, and he's running it at the moment instead of a shotgun or gunboats. And he's going to be trying to build him up with a load of spam coming into Phoenix and Swedish Santa.
Man, if only we knew how much that conch was just like being built upon. We can't see any bars or anything. There's no HUD either.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate, but I think we'll know as soon as it goes off, because we'll hear a which is always a great thing to hear.
I'm sorry, Sideshow, I didn't catch that. Can you do it again?
Well, the Ubers have been forced from Swedish Santa. I'll do it again as soon as it happens. Calico's desperately trying to build up his Conqueror, but EXO does have his Uber charge, and he's used it onto Calico and Kane. Oh, and Zushi comes in for the nice flank and kills Swedish Santa, but Deox has respawned on Sniper, sniping now from the cave, and does pick up the frag onto the scout of Seagulls. And now it's a 5v4 situation, but the heal advantage is in favour of Seagulls.
Yeah, it seems Seagulls deciding to milk that Uber for quite a long time, like, maybe not entirely necessary, because it created so much room for them that they could, like, identify that they were Ubering and get back out again. But like Deox with a big snipe on the scout here, body shot, the true sniper.
The only way to kill players on Sniper.
Yeah, it seems like things have just reset it back to normal now. Except
but EXO's going to have that Uber advantage, and surely Calico must be close to having his conch activated now.
Yeah, but Swedish Santa is doing a good job of somewhat building that Uber back, maybe clawing back just a little bit of advantages here and there.
Yeah, it looks like the Seagulls don't really know that they have Uber advantage. They're sat so far back, and that's going to give so much room for Deox on Sniper. If only they realised this, I'm sure Deox would have an absolute field of a time. Field of a time? That's not an expression.
Time of the field? Field of the time.
An absolute whale of a time. He's now sniping through cave, and he hits a body shot onto T. But they've got their own sniper up the Seagulls in the form of Zushi. Oh, and he does get the frag onto Deox.
But yeah, like, will they make any play of this? Like, they will be pushing in what seems like 5v5, because like a sniper pushing in isn't terribly effective as the Ubers come out. Blue use their Uber much later, still holding on to that Spire, even though they popped Uber. Not content with like following Red in, not taking that bait.
They're not getting baited in, and I'm ready for this conch hype. What are you doing, Calicool? Please, I'm ready for it. He must have it, surely. They're pushing now out of this passive area, but the flank from Phoenix takes down EXO and Shalala. No, my bad, it doesn't take down Shalala, but it does take down
He's
Exo.
using the conch now. This is the time. While his entire team is down, and then everyone else that's alive has like 2 health, but they're still going in.
No, I like this. I actually like this. This is a great opportunity to use the conch and get onto Swedish Santa and equalise this Uber situation, the heal advantage. But unfortunately, the rest of his players weren't anywhere near him. And even though they all went in, they weren't getting the buff from that conch, and they just couldn't do anything to put damage onto Swedish Santa. I would have liked it if he'd used it in a team fight, yeah, but I think that was as good a time as any if they'd managed to equalise that the med pick, but possibly wasted there, seeing as they didn't manage to.
I don't know, to say how long he teased us with that conch and like how long he was waiting, you think he could have just waited a little bit longer to just put it to its full effect.
Yeah.
His demo man was on 10 HP.
Oh,
The bomb comes in from T. He forces the Uber on Swedish Santa, and they're just trying to pick up the pieces, thinking like, what can we do with this Uber? We need to go and do something with this right now. As they jump to Spire, they take out Zushi, and it seems like Kali's going to avenge his fallen comrade. He gets an air shot in the air and killed by Buhan. I'm going to call him Buhan. And as Kane comes in as well, it seems like a disaster really after that great play by T.
But now he's come in again and he's got the pick on Phoenix, and it looks like he wants to get Swedish Santa as well. Swedish Santa on quite low health as Shalala and T are both on him. Boo and the only player really left in the fight. He's hit a nice pipe there, but Shalala on a few health. 3 health is really
Oh, is he going to kill this demo
him.
man as well? Oh, they've killed the demo man. T,
And this is a big turnaround. It was looking so bad there for Seagulls, but they got the spawners, and T and Shalala combined to get onto the rest of the players from iOS, and they really won that Spire fight.
Oh, but look at the blue soldier. He's hidden. He's going for the demo man. He goes for it. Oh, he couldn't quite hit those rockets though. Kane just managed to get out of his sight for just that second as another soldier tries to attempt the same trick, but Seagulls aren't going to fall for it.
Oh, that was horrible by iOS. They sacked 5 players in there for no reason. 2 of their players died on the flanking cave, overextended. 2 of their players died trying to bomb the medic, but at completely different, unsynchronized times, and then Swedish Santa left alone.
Buhan almost gets caught out as well, trying a hiding spot on, between last and second.
Yeah, so right now, Deox is trading in lobby, and it looks like Zushi's also been caught, but no, he manages to get out there. That was a bit of a scrape.
They have the Uber. Maybe they're looking forward to push. I think they're just buffing all the players out, getting everybody ready. But why aren't they using the Uber? Why aren't they going?
I think they know that they've got enough time to get buffed up here as the Uber does come in. They're going to be focusing down this heavy, but Deox goes down first on Pyro. And now, unfortunately, Zushi and Shalala are both getting dropped from that Uber charge. The heals not being placed correctly onto their flank at the end of that. Oh, but a nice sticky trap there from Kane takes down Phoenix. And the Demo Man gets picked as well from T. T coming out with some big plays this map.
Yeah, the Heavy doing a lot of work on that last there, just keeping those red players onto the lower ground, making those soldiers almost useless. And like everybody else doing a good job of just surviving on that last point there. Kiting that Uber, very well done, and they managed to even keep Swedish Santa alive during all of that.
Yeah, it was a really unsuccessful Uber from Seagulls. They possibly should have focused Swedish Santa a little bit more, but they knew that he didn't have the Uber, and I think they were just going for the rest of the fragging classes, but didn't manage to make it work. And now iOS are pushing out from this arch area.
Yeah, they pushed out. They're pushing out in the spy, creating a lot of room, just pushing the red team out. It seems red team just giving away. They've used the Uber on top of Spire, but Seagulls counter with their own Spire play. They put Soldier on to block, and they just caused blue team to back off now, losing 2 players during the midst of it. But red team also losing players. A lot of scrappy players going in here as they push straight into last with it. Oh, it's very dangerous because you know those respawns are coming back. Next respawn are coming in 2 seconds. Will it make a difference?
Calicul here on the high ground. He's taking on Swedish Santa and Deox. He does manage to pick up the kill on Deox, but now the spawner from Ichthys does come in before he can secure the kill onto Swedish Santa. And Swedish Santa's going to keep 60% Uber there. They're going to have a huge advantage for pushing out into last, especially if T and Zushi sack themselves. They're holding forward in this lobby area.
Seemed like a great risk for Seagulls, but it seemed like the risk had to be taken, especially like they're 1-0 up, and you know at this point like they could probably take these risks just to like speed up the round. But you know it has happened in TF2 where like you do just a blunderous like last push and then it just goes all the way back and loses you the round. or as we like to call it, the heartbreaker round.
Yeah, now it looks like Swedish Santa's going to come out with his full Uber charge. He drops his pocket there as they push out. The Uber still hasn't been forced, but now Buen's so far ahead of the rest of the team.
But Buen wants to keep going forward. Swedish Santa is just forced to use their disconnected miscommunication coming out from iOS there, but they still managed to cap the Spire and just force out the red team. But they will. Oh, there's a back.
That was Sushi who was behind there, who was fighting against Phoenix and Ichthys on the back foot. But that means that two of the players from iOS
He's onto
are
the
behind.
medic. He's killed the medic. He's going for the Demo Man as well. Demo Man takes him out, I'm afraid, though. And like Blue respond in kind, but they get XO just pops his Uber and keeps his teammates alive as all the blue players just try and claw back to life.
Time has been added.
Yeah, Swedish Santa and Ichthys there going down very late, so they're not going to be fully set up for this last defense. But XO's Uber being popped means that they do not have an Uber advantage to push onto this last. However, they do have the offensive heavy. T has respawned as heavy and now wanders through that choke point with this deliciously cute little max head he is. Oh, what a cutie pie. And he's going to rush in through this, into this last point, probably following the Uber charge, and attempt to get something done. But he's spun up, and I think Phoenix might have heard him. He'll be relaying that back to his team that he knows that they've got a heavy.
Yeah, this is going to be devilishly close. Like, the Ubers are, well, they were closer, but it seemed like Seagulls are doing a good job of, like, just building the Uber just a little bit more. But it seems like 10% quite negligible. Like, it'll be difficult to push anything off of this, especially with a heavy on their team, so let's just see if they can just win out on these even Uber fights.
The positioning from Seagulls here... No, actually, I was going to say that the positioning from Seagulls looks like they want to run the clock down. They're 1-0 ahead with 10 minutes left, and they had a heavy on Spire along with the rest of their team. But at the moment, it looks like they want to push in through this top area. They're getting juggled pretty badly,
Body
though.
blocks.
Huge body blocks coming in from Ichthys and Swedish Santa. And that's completely put pay to any chance Seagulls had of pushing. Heist has told me that they were considering enlarging that entrance into last, and but whilst it's that small, Ichthys and Swedish Santa making perfect use of its proportions to block the Uber out completely.
Yeah, and that medic getting blocked out from the other side as well, like the side he doesn't want to be on, the side where all his teammates behind, where they really needed those crit heals and those buffs to come in after the Ubers were exchanged. Very good play by iOS there.
Yeah, but they've still got that heavy. They haven't managed to kill T, and he's in lobby putting out big damages, and that's going to stunt any kind of push out that Swedish Santa and his team want to put into action. They have got their own heavy on the field in the form of Deox.
Yeah, it seems like both teams just want to slow down the game now, but you do wonder if iOS what they want to do. Like, you do wonder if they want to even stay on this last point. Maybe it is a better idea just to like let them in, win a round, and then just just steamroll the 2 rounds back rather than just staying at this last, clicking down the clock.
And that would be a very risky thing, but they do have 9.5 minutes. They've got enough time to equalise this and take it. We see an equal Uber again on this top right hand side, but this time Calico's going to get picked off, and they haven't body blocked it effectively, so T the heavy is able to move in. He's putting down so much damage. He does manage to take down Boo and the blue demo man, but as 3 frags go in favour of iOS, and they were hanging there behind the back of the point, keeping the rest of their team fully healed. They're going to be able to push out here. Kane getting taken out by some lovely rockets from Phoenix, and EXO also getting isolated.
Yeah, iOS doing a wonderful job of kiting the Uber there. Even like the heavy is a big destructive mess, but after you take a trip to that resupply cabinet, you get you're fully reloaded immediately, ready to take on any heavies, especially with your whole team backing you. As they push into this midpoint here, they're just all grouped around this choke area. They managed to, neutralize Cali there, trying to force out the Uber. But Swedish Santa hasn't even got it built out yet, so it's just like a try push here coming in from iOS, and they do a wonderful job of it, taking out some picks and getting the mid for free.
Yeah, nice. I think they worked there on the fear of Seagulls. Seagulls playing a little bit passively, letting them into the point because they thought that they had the Uber and would use it as they came in. But yep. iOS, they're just bullying them out of the point, taking the frags of the players who were too far forward, and now they're going to use their Uber to secure the Spire. Exo's
milking
still only
it.
on 65.
It's been used, and the red team identify this, but they all take the same entrance. They're taking loads of damage from Steve here, just like. And it's a difficult name. Look at that name. But yeah, they get seconds. They use Uber. It's not the worst thing in the world. As actually, Seagulls use their Uber to try and block, but we've seen this before. But they're managing to do a good job of cleaning everybody up. But if they just send one player to last, maybe they could like get a back cap on them. But they've got somebody looking after it, so it seems okay.
They have sent somebody to last though. Nesh is found Shalala on the last point, and he's also drawn the medic back. He's on the medic at the moment. Nice 2-shot to take down XO. Brilliant play from Nesh there. He had no chance of backcapping because there were so many players on the last point. But XO comes back to give his players some health and some support, and just gets destroyed for his generosity.
Yeah, with Seagull, with iOS actually capping out that point when that Uber came in, it just created all these questions for Seagulls, wondering, man, should we send players back? Are they going to backcap us? And they just start panicking. Air shots.
Yeah, both Ichthys and T jumped up in the air there onto Spire. Big air shots in mid-air for coming out from both of them, and T craters. Ichthys getting caught by his medic. He had a buff, so he survived.
Yeah, both
Spires, man.
Yeah, both the scouts going down for iOS there, but having to use all their heavy players to cap rather than hold up these choke points. So maybe you could see Red playing off this, but they'll sooner decide just to hold back at last, get their defenses up, run a sniper, run a pirate, and see if they can just negate off this Uber advantage that iOS have got.
Yeah, Seagulls at the moment running a defensive sniper and Shalala on pyro, with Kane running the loose cannon, which is something we saw last time as well. Some of the higher div players. Oh, the crits! I didn't see that. The crits is coming out from Wuhan, but that's forced a load of aggression from Seagull. But Nesh has dropped onto the point as well. He instantly gets minced, but he's got a lot of cap time there. It's metaphorically nipple hairs away. And at the moment, it's iOS who are on the back foot, having had a fail crit.
Shalala's behind though. He's going for this medic. He's firing on him. He's got 2 shots, 3 shots, 4 shots onto the medic. Very good play by Shalala, taking him out there. As the red team decide to push out with it. As Phoenix is coming in from the left flank though. He goes for the medic. Can he kill him? He gets him. Very good play by Phoenix. All these mid picks coming out all over the place. Man. It's difficult to keep track of, especially with all these crits as well.
It's hard to be a medic. It's hard to be a medic. Everybody wants your head. And at the moment, Nesh is on the sniper as well, so he wants anybody's head. The Seagulls here in the red, running back to their last point with their tails between their legs. And we're going to see our first sniper onto last, sniper offense onto last. I don't think the sightlines are the best for sniper. It's definitely a difficult map to snipe on in my opinion, but we're going to see what Nesh can do here.
Yeah, only one opening on this entire map that he can really make use of, and that, you know, once the red team figure that out, they can easily just isolate that area, or they could just use a counter sniper. That is just as good.
Yeah, Nesh only has one place to really snipe from, and Zushi has all the info on where that'll be and is able to position himself in anywhere basically, so that he can then take off Nesh's head. Nesh decided not to respawn onto sniper again, instead choosing scout. And when he arrives, we might be seeing a push here because iOS really need to secure this round and draw it up 1-1 with only 4 minutes remaining. We've seen some small score lines, but some very back and forth games tonight.
Yeah, it's nice to see. I think it's more suspenseful this way. It's always to be like a round up, a round down, just to keep things like anything could come down to the wire really. As iOS push in here, they caught out T here, and XO drops his pocket soldier there, or his Roman soldier, and but it seems like these red scouts have just managed to clean up all these other unubered players on the right hand side, as blue are just like starting to lick their wounds and come back in, but it seems like they've just regathered their heels and just pushed back in. They've recycled their Uber even down on those players and doing an excellent job of just cleaning up these players. Good job,
lovely decision from Deox and Swedish Santa to try and take that as well. It's 2 fragging classes against 1 fragging class, but they knew that there was absolutely no heals for Seagulls, and so they were able to take that with Deox just playing the heals beautifully. And now as we come to our third mid of the map, I'm going to be watching the demo men. Kane taking the ramp rollout while Buan goes through choke. They're both fighting around this health pack area, and I'm waiting for some aggression from the scouts or the soldiers. Deox currently the furthest player ahead, but Calico now jumps in. And a big bomb from Phoenix as well.
From his scout, Shalala's backing him up. Shalala manages to actually take out some player and get behind them. Cali's still alive, and now that scouts are just trying to make something happen, the medic goes down as well. Oh man, it just seems it was an excellent bomb in by Cali, just creating a lot of space for his scout there, just to come in and like finish off all those weak players that Cali just bombed on, and manages to get behind and get that psychological like fear factor of just like having them backing out and having to meet a scout, forcing them to stay in and just get wiped by red team.
Yeah, I like that we're not seeing brainless Roma bombs on these mids. They're not jumping in trying to sacrifice their life for a bit of damage. They're jumping in, getting a lot of distraction, and then playing behind or jumping out, making sure they conserve their life as well.
Yeah.
And now we're going to see a full Uber against a non-Uber and an engineer.
As the Uber comes out, will the sentry gun do any dividend? It is covering the point very well, but it gets spotted out by a red team immediately and gets taken out. As they bring out the heavy weapons guy, but he's the last player alive and he can't really take a team on by himself, I'm afraid. And the round goes to Seagulls.
Do you think that engineer was possibly a bad decision? He only managed to get it to level 1 by the time the team had pushed in.
I think it could have been a good decision, but it just had it was used incorrectly. I think if it was used more as a way to like kite or destroy the Uber in a way, like distract it, negate it almost, but it was used to kind of like cover the point and just like stop those point plays, which aren't really going to happen on the Uber advantage. As we go to mid, and it seems like a really aggressive play coming out from blue team, just going straight in there, but red just managed to clean up immediately. We've got a player going behind from Phoenix. Can Phoenix make something big happen? They are all kind of like bottlenecked in behind it. Phoenix goes in, he gets a big damage onto the medic, takes out the medic, he's still fighting these soldiers. The scout backs him up, kills the demo man Kane. Carly's out of the fight, and T is behind them trying to make something happen, but Blue are keeping tabs on him, and the medics stay alive with 100% advantage.
Yeah, they've wisely just left T alive behind them. As long as Deox and Ichthys are able
Carly's
to clean
jumping
him
in,
up.
he's going onto the demo. And it seems like, he's going for that medic, he goes for the equalizer, and he forces the medic to pop.
Did he force with the equalizer there?
He forced with the equalizer.
That's a very weak pop from Swedish Santa there, but it doesn't particularly hurt them too badly because they still have 2 picks and they're able to push on to last here. Non-Uber v non-Uber.
Pyro comes down. Oh my days, the Pyro just completely, just like wrecked. I believe it was a scout or something like that, but it was all for naught as like, red team just managed to pull out the win there.
Guess what we've got? Guess what we've got? We've got another golden cap TurboTabs.
Oh,
the reason they pushed there right at the end without their Uber charge, which I really liked, was simply because of the time necessity. There were only 20 seconds left, and they managed to take that, drawing the map level at 2-all. And we're going to be going to another golden cap. Who's your money on TurboTabs? As I find the logs.
My money, I'm going to have to go with Seagulls here. Like, they clearly have the experience on in my eyes anyways, like doing well on these golden caps. So like maybe it'll be a Cinderella story. Maybe they'll just destroy all the teams when it comes to golden caps. Bring home the gold.
So you think that because they've got the experience in winning these golden caps already,
yeah,
they're gonna take this one home as well?
Yeah, exactly.
So what happens in a round robin if every team loses a golden cap and wins a golden cap?
I think they play again.
We're going to be casting golden caps all night long, TurboTabs.
Exactly, I guess I better brush my teeth now whilst I have the chance.
Right, so I've got the logs up. I'm going to paste it to you as well, but the things that I'm seeing are, again, big soldier plays on this map. Ichthys leading the damage along at the top there with T Phoenix as well. So a top damaging Roma there from iOS, along with T up at the top. Buhan and Kane getting 240 and 220 damage per minute, but nothing outstanding from either of those.
Yeah, it seems like the Romas are going for very big flanks on this map. Like they just like to get behind on these middles and then just going for these you know, huge, ginormous, like, team wiping, like, kills and bombs and streak. So no wonder they're getting all these big damage numbers.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing that I'm noticing just from having a look at these games is that the teams are going aggressive, but they're often not going aggressive cohesively. So there's a difference between just throwing players in and actually playing aggressively together as a team. And I think the occasions where the aggression's really working is where they've got somebody distracting, or they haven't just thrown a soldier in right at the beginning of the round to get something done. They've actually waited for players to get position before they do that kind of thing. And I'm enjoying watching it and thinking about the best ways to play this map. I'm excited to have a new map in the map pool, TurboTabs.
Yeah, it's always nice to see some new maps. This also creates these, especially these like weak teams. Like it really knocks off these Goliaths from their pedestals. Like both of them being on even ground and bringing out this new skill to teams. Thinking like, how can you adapt to the new and like work together as a team just to like adapt to your surroundings rather than just like going through all the old cookie cutter strategies that teams have been using for years and seeing who can just play it off the best.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree. New maps are a chance for teams that wouldn't normally be classed as good to really show more developed strategy, better teamwork and positioning on a new map, and take some points off the big boys. And that applies in any division. It doesn't just have to apply at the top.
Yeah, I can remember the. I think the biggest case of it was like when they reintroduced. I think it was Freight or something like that. Like Team Infuse back when Greg and Mike and them lot were on Team Infuse, and they had to take down the Epsilon Giants, and they just practiced Freight all the time just to because they knew it was the one map that they can catch Epsilon off guard and just like take a map away from them.
Yeah. Well, we are going to be changing servers for this Golden Cap. I have no idea why, but the teams have decided, and what are we if not pawns to be juggled around players' whims? So I'm just waiting for some information from the rest of our production team that's running at the moment. But keep going, TurboTabs. Keep going. Keep the stream alive. Tell me about. Are you playing next season actually?
I am not playing next season. Hopefully, like I can use these little moments like this to jumpstart my casting career. Because like it seems like everybody's playing. Admirable's playing, who's also in a new team, I believe. Called, what is it? Cool Clan. Man, I haven't heard that name in ages. That's a season 4 team, I believe. Bringing back from the dead. I think he's playing
back
with
from the dead.
Yeah.
Admirable's medic skills are gonna have to come back from the dead as well.
Well, I think he could play. He could do quite well. Rocket. It's not like he hasn't played in age. He played with Rocket a few seasons ago.
Yes, he did. He played for Rocket quite successfully, and he played for Crackdown before that as well. It'll be interesting to see how the Premiership develops over the course of this next season, and then who comes back for the big festival of TF2, which will be season 20. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Logjam get played and seeing how the feedback changes the map. That's going to be one of the big things that I'm excited about. Seeing how these teams feed back their experiences of playing it in this cup and playing it in season 19 and seeing how the map develops.
Yeah, it just seems like only yesterday Process had its own cup and Metalworks had its own cup, and they've all had their time into the ETF2L season. So it seems logical that Logjam is going to be in the season coming up as well. But like about the Premiership teams, I do wonder who is going to be in Prem this season, because it just seems like teams are just so scattered and all over the place right now. Like you don't know who's playing still, who's not playing, who's playing with who.
Do you know what would sort that out quite nicely?
What?
A lovely article on Team Fortress TV.
A lovely article on Team Fortress TV?
That really would sort things out nicely, wouldn't it?
It would.
It would.
Where can I find this article?
It hasn't been written yet, but
Why?
I'm led to believe that it will be.
It will be. No release dates, no nothing. You're just gonna be like, yeah, I'm sure something that'll get made, and just like leave us.
Yeah, I'm
Move
just
on.
gonna leave you guessing. Man, it's been worked on. What more do you want from me?
Damn it, I want dates. I want names. But
I'm
yeah,
afraid we can't offer that. I have been given some Connect info, but I'm afraid I'm stuck in. I'm stuck in auto direct for some reason. It's all going wrong here. We need some time to sort this out. I believe they moved server because their serverme.tf reservation was running out.
oh wow.
They weren't anticipating the golden cap.
Nobody anticipates the golden cap. But like, as we get this, I'm sure this will get sorted out shortly. Like, in the meantime, whilst you try and fix things, God damn it, there's a cat in my room, just like clawing at my feet.
Cats? Wild cats?
Wild cats. Yes, they've just jumped
Be
through the
very
window
careful
and just...
with those wild cats.
But yeah, are you in a team sideshow?
No, I'm not. I'm just going to be casting next season.
Uh,
Casting and streaming. And one of the things,
Yeah.
I'm going to use this opportunity to shamelessly self-plug. I'm not going to use the actual game time to selflessly shame plug. That's what I'm. That's not what I mean. Shamelessly self-plug. I've been streaming the I-52 footage that I got on my stream. I was doing it just before that, and I'll be doing it just afterwards as well, which is well worth checking out if you haven't been to an I-52 LAN, and if you haven't been to an Insomnia LAN, sorry, and if you have been to one, then it's even more worth checking out because you'll recognize everybody there and keep up with all the all the ridiculous stuff that's going on.
maybe you'll see me.
We definitely will see you. You feature in the footage along with a lot of other players that people will recognise the names of if they don't recognise their faces.
Yeah, so it will be really like being there.
It will. I believe we have all the players on the server at the moment. I'm just reconnecting so that I get out of auto director.
I say, did you manage to get rid of that auto director? Because I'm stuck on it as well.
I think if you retry to the server, it'll fix itself.
Okay. Man, top-notch technical team casters.
We know what we're doing. We're just pretending that we don't to make it seem more relatable for the stream viewers. There we
Yeah.
go. I'm in.
This is...
I'm in.
Yeah, we just need to get them to trust us to like us.
Yeah, so everybody from iOS is on the server, and there is only one player missing from Seagulls, so this golden cap is going to be going live very shortly. So this is going to be the golden cap, which concludes our second map of the mini round robin that we've got going on tonight between Seagulls, who we currently have in the red team, iOS, who we currently have in the blue team, and Project 01, who we saw about 30 minutes ago lose very narrowly to another golden cap against Seagulls. So Seagulls currently 1-0 up in this this mini round robin. iOS still haven't got any points, and Project 01 sat at a 0-1.
So, this mini round robin, is it just like one team gets in? Or is it two teams that get in?
I'm pretty sure it's only one team, but it could be two. Don't ask me, I'm not an admin.
If Seagulls win this game, does that mean like it's over? Because like they've already won.
I couldn't possibly answer such a complex question. I have no idea. We'd have to get Permzilla in here, or maybe we could bypass the puppet and go straight to the puppet master of Sunny Black or Ash. Nobody wants to talk to Permzilla. He's nothing more than a face. The mouth is moved by Sunny Black.
But yeah, it has been like really, really close tonight though. So like the score lines, you know, do like the match score lines do no justice to this. Like it has been very, very close. These like if you know Seagulls does manage to win out on this, it might look on paper, oh, they won against two teams, 2-0. It was very easy for Seagulls, but no, like it's been devastatingly close.
It has. It's been incredibly close, and as we go live, I have been informed that we will be going to a third map, despite if Seagulls do take this, because we do need to find out who is going to play second in this mini round robin. So take us to the mid of the golden cap, TurboTabs.
All right. I'm going to watch here, like as both teams just get up, set up on mid, just exchanging out spam, feeling each other out as they're still just setting up here as Kali makes the first jump in, followed in by T there. Very good coordinator to jump onto Jules there, taking out the soldier immediately. A big scout flank coming in from Shalala, taking out the medic, taking out the Demo, but both scouts isolate him and take him out. But red team just do a wonderful job of just like playing off and capping off this point in the name of Shalala's frag. But the scouts coming like just like picking apart the red team.
Definitely. Nesh and Deox, the only people to survive that mid from iOS, but they teamed up together to take down EXO, and they managed to take down Kane as well before they died. And that's going to allow them to defend Spire, possibly, depending on whether their spawners get there in time. Yes, Jules now jumping.
He gets shot down though, he's on very low HP. Oh, he actually suicides on Kali there. Kali gets taken out by his demo man though, supporting fire. As T, I think, just like finishes off that cap and just like backs off now, content with what work he's done. But like Demoman just causing some slight spam onto the point, but red team deciding to back out of that all in the end because they are at an uber disadvantage.
They are. It's 20%, something maybe slightly
Diox on the
less.
flank. He gets taken out by both scouts though. That's not what he should be doing, especially when his team has the uber advantage.
Yeah, definitely, and I don't think Swedish Santa is going to be in a position to use his Uber advantage effectively at all. It looks like they're possibly transitioning over to the log room at the moment, but just playing on that patio, getting a little bit of spam up onto the ramp, and Calico again using that conch.
Yeah, he's a big advocator for this conch play. Like, hopefully he'll get off a better conch than he did last time.
Yeah, he only got one conch in the entire map last time, maybe dying a little too often for it to really come to fruition.
Wait, did he have it on all game?
I think he had it on for quite a bit of the game. I remember seeing it on multiple occasions and noticing that he had it equipped.
But yeah, it seems like a very difficult point for like for iOS to push out here, because like there's just huge sight lines. You can see the team coming off a mile away, so they're just looking to like sit back on their Spire and just force out you know, Seagulls to make the push here.
Yeah, one thing they could do is try and get some picks in cave. It looks like T and Zushi are sitting fairly far forwards occasionally, and by transitioning their heels over to that side, similarly to what some teams do on Gullywash Big Door, you could easily get some flank picks there, I think, and that would put iOS in a good
going
position.
down to 12 health. It seems like it's still stalemating out there. The picks aren't quite coming into fruition. Both just feeling that. I think they're both just feeling the nerves, knowing how important this game is. Like Seagulls need to obviously take this to win it, and well, I guess you need all the victories, don't you, in this round robin if you want to win it? Like you can't. There's no losing allowed. If you want to, well, I guess you could lose if every team loses, but still, they both need this win really badly, and they're not gonna risk anything, it seems.
Yeah. Both teams, now that it's come down to this high-pressure situation, playing much more passively than we saw in the actual map, they're going to have to make a move at some point. They might engineer a pick, they might even go suicide in and turn into a pick class. They're going to morph into a pick class.
Yes, in the shape of a sniper.
Yeah, they're going to respawn, as a pick class. But they've got to do something. This timer is ticking down, and eventually this time limit is going to come into action.
Is it like the old Golden Cap rules where like if you still hold on to mid, like you win, or is it like the Golden Cap rules where if you hold on to mid it means nothing?
I will find out. I believe it means that I don't even know. Yeah. It doesn't say. But
well, we'll find out. We'll find out. This keeps us on the edge of our seats. Like this means like everything's important right now.
Yeah, but the time limit at the moment, and if the mid-win wins you the round. We got a
sniper coming out for the Seagulls.
And he's just run all the way back to spawn and switched, so they will have no idea that there's a pick class on the field if he keeps that little laser dot held. But now a shot ringing out, and Jules will have called to the rest of his team that Zushi is running sniper.
And look at this huge, almost obnoxious sightline. You could see like all the way into the last point almost.
You can see a very long way from that little sightline, but there is no need to actually be peeking that if you don't want to. It's very possible to hold log room or banana from the porch area or just from patio without peeking. So I think that's what iOS will be doing right now.
Man, these sightlines can go on for long though. Wow, if you look close enough, like they can go into your soul. Sweet
Zushi
Jesus.
now transitioning further over into the log room where he can find a sight through the porch, but again there's nobody peeking around cave area, but he's got a little bit of sight if Deox runs out to get a buff or something like that. No, my bad, Deox isn't playing in the cave. My outline's plugged in, my wall hack's deceiving me there for a second.
Oh, Shalala just peeking around this corner and then immediately backing off.
It's-
Throbbing stuff right here.
It's incredibly passive play from both teams. I mean, at least Seagulls are really...
Look at where the sniper's positioned.
Yeah.
He's out there. He is like, just like taking a mile from them, but then just like backing out.
The Seagulls could just push in here. Like, they would have a much better Uber because the sniper from Zushi has made iOS play so passively that behind their own spire, they've got players kind of hiding everywhere. They would have a brilliant Uber if they just pushed in here.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're also fighting with a sniper, and that sniper is very coin flippy. Like, if that sniper might not do anything, you're still fighting 6v5 in these fights.
Yeah, very true, but as soon as the fight opens out onto the second point, I think he'd have a much better chance of getting some picks, getting some damage than just milling around at the moment.
Man, you weren't kidding when it comes to these iOS teams. They're just giving them so much respect. Look at where he's peeking from. I've never seen anybody just like take this much ground for a sniper.
Yeah, and the thing is that he's not even supported with a soldier. Like, this might be possible in a higher div if they had somebody with Zushi supporting him, making sure nobody could get close to him. But he's just running around on his own, and iOS are running around with absolute fear in their hearts.
Okay, so Sideshow, let's turn on our imaginations and let's just pretend you were in this game right now. What would you do to like combat this sniper? Would you move closer, or would you do what they
Definitely, I would be moving closer. I would be getting my my roamer to dance around on every point where he is and fire some rockets and get some pressure on him. And at the same time, I would be trying to abuse the flank where he isn't, because the fact that they have Zushi on sniper means that there's a scout or a soldier somewhere who doesn't have the backup that he needs. And so if you put some heals into flank at the moment, you're going to be able to catch Shalala on completely on his own. He's way too far in on flank, and you'd probably be able to catch Zushi as he overextends on sniper. So I think iOS here having a fairly effective counter to this sniper just by hiding from him, but it's never gonna go well for them. It's just gonna avoid them losing. Do you understand? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm writing all this down. I'm only a filthy Div 1 scrub. I need to learn all I know if I want to get into this Prem top 10 gamer.
With only 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining, maybe these teams are just playing for the time limit. I think if the time limit had been removed, they may have been bored into action already, or maybe they just have the patience of gods and would have lasted for hours upon hours. But this time limit is slowly ticking down, and 1 minute and 20 seconds left. The teams need to start moving now if they want to get anything done.
Man, as the time ticks down, I think it's time to bring out the big guns in padding out this time. We're going to talk about hats. We're going to appreciate all these hats.
You tell me who has the best hat, and I'll keep up with the action in case something happens.
Right. I'm liking what Jules is having here. He's got some antlers coming out of this like straw hat with almost like a Viking beard here. And my God, desperate times we are. I'm not really a hat person, but it's a lot more interesting than what's going on right now. But we have to keep our composure, Sideshow. We have to just keep the things excited.
Both of these teams really content just to leave their keyboards alone and sit there. I've literally never, honestly, in all my time spectating and playing, I've never seen two teams more passive than this in my entire life.
Oh, contraire, Sideshow. They're not leaving the keyboards alone. They're writing all these wonderful, hilarious things to each other in chat. The psychological warfare is in full force here. The actual warfare has just stopped completely.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy what's going on here, and the Uber has been popped from Swedish Santa as the time limit goes down.
Oh, right.
He just popped it because there was time left. And that's going to just force a reset on mid, as far as I know. It's not going to be whoever wins mid. Sorry, it's not going to be whoever holds mid wins. I think they're just going to restart this, and we're just going to play it until we have a winner. A strange rule set for this golden cap. but the 10-minute time limit trying to be brought out here to force pushes, but the teams have realized that there is just literally no point. They would rather have a mid reroll than try and push into a slightly disadvantageous position. I mean, the people who are held mid there have an advantage. They have the spawn advantage. They had so much position to work with, but they just would rather have a mid fight. And I think that was, I genuinely think, even, it's not me saying this because it was boring to watch, but I genuinely think that was completely the wrong move there from Seagulls. If they roll it out to another mid-fight, there's absolutely no guarantee of them winning the mid-fight and being in an advantageous position again. I think it's really silly to not have pushed, to have given up that advantage that you have, and to possibly lose another round. I'll be surprised if they were confident enough in a mid re-roll for that to be their strategy.
Yeah, it feels very weird. Like, I think the most weird factor about it was like there was no aggression at all. It wasn't even like you have to dedicate to a push. You could just throw a scout in or throw a soldier in, or just like, just do something, out there, like just some sort of like plan or some action going, like just making some plays sort of happen. I'm not saying dedicate all your team in, just
just
see
at
where you can
least
fish out.
throw a soldier in, throw a sniper, throw a scout in.
I mean, you have the midpoint, you have the forward respawn, you have the tools to like, these little advantages to fall back on these players going down. It doesn't hurt to like, try for the lottery basically.
Yeah, you can't put too much blame onto iOS there, as they're holding the second point. They do have a bit of a disadvantage, but again, their incredibly passive response to the sniper coming out from Zoosh just was unfathomable as well. It didn't make any sense. They could have engineered themselves a much better pick by playing aggressively, by trying to shut down the sniper, but they were just really scared of him. Yeah.
I'm not sure if he managed to stay alive during all of that. I think he did go down at some point, maybe, but it didn't obviously it didn't draw out any good picks in the end. But I guess it was somewhat notable that they did try a little bit, but they could have just still tried a little bit harder with more time, just like ticking away.
Yeah, definitely. I am just waiting for these scrubs to ready back up. What are they doing? Why are they milling about for so long?
I think they're a bit confused on what the rules are right now. I think some people think it's like the whole hold midpoint win game, and some say no, that's changed.
Oh, I see. Right.
A lot of keyboard warring.
Okay, right. So they're currently probably checking with some admins or something to see whether it was whoever holds mid wins, etc., etc. So there's going to be some real annoyance from iOS if the admins do clarify that holding mid won them the golden cap, as they made absolutely no effort to push it. But as far as I know, that was not the rule, and they will simply re-roll. But it seems like the reason we saw such a stalemate situation there was because they had conflicting ideas about the rules. The players who were holding mid, that would be Seagulls, thought that they would win simply by holding and were perplexed as to why iOS weren't pushing, and iOS were perplexed as to why Seagulls weren't pushing when they would just go to mid again.
Yeah, even Swedish Santa pointing out, saying I think they're the first load of teams like on this new golden cap rule to ever have a stalemate.
Yeah, I think that's very correct. But that wasn't even the new golden cap rule as well. I mean, it's very possible that had we been playing with no time limit and simply a win limit one, that we would still be in that situation, but somehow I doubt it. I think they simply wouldn't have that kind of patience. I think it was more to do with a misunderstanding of the rules, or the knowledge that they would only have to wait 10 minutes and it wouldn't not be an eternity.
It does make you wonder why there is a time limit though, if it's just the whole, just restart the mid again. Like,
there's supposed to be a decent reason for that, and it was something that the ETF2L admins were considering replacing the rule with when it was whoever holds mid wins. And the idea was that you immediately start another one, so there wouldn't be all this waiting period, and you have a better chance of somebody rolling the other team on mid, and then that would lead to a round one. It would be very unusual for two stalemates to occur one round after another. But we have gone live with our second golden cap. This is our third golden cap of the night. This is the ETF2L Logjam Cup powered by ServeMe.tf. These are the tiebreaker rounds with a mini round robin, and this is Seagulls against iOS. A big bomb in here coming from Jules as he puts a bit of damage on Kane, link it up with Boohen, his demo man. And both teams here playing a little bit passively, but a big bombing in from Calicool and T. They're putting a bit of damage onto Nesh and Jules, but Jules is trying to pick them off as well. T's very low at the moment. Shalala and Kane both going down to a nice plan from Deox, and Boohen and Ichthy's coming in just to finish off the rest of the frags. And there is a wipe from Seagulls, and they are probably going to be in a terrible position, possibly going to lose this round, and that mid re-roll simply not going their way.
Yeah, it's not looking good for iOS here. They're going to have to pull out the biggest defense. Seagulls here are going to have to pull out the biggest defense of their lives, holding against this Uber advantage as well to top it all off. It seems like iOS there went for like a very just like played on their half and just created this wall sort of thing, kept the high ground and just knocked all this aggressive play off, while they had their two flank players just get behind them and just destroy
and this is a great decision, I think. The double scout Uber from the top, but they're not getting any frags with it. The DM not quite working out there. They do pick up a frag onto T, and now they've brought the rest of their team in, but the red team has got all the position. Jules now luring a few players onto the point. Calico dropping down there, but Boohen's already out, and the position from iOS just not what you would want there. They all drop down to the bottom ground after the Uber fight, and now Swedish Santa might get caught out. He's on really low health. Shalala's going to flank, and he is going to get the shot on him. That's Swedish Santa down. That's the heals dead for iOS, and the Uber charge gone. And now it looks like the Seagulls are in the driving seat. Nesh respawning on Sniper.
Yeah, the Seagulls doing a wonderful job there, just keeping their high ground and kiting that Uber, especially keeping the dome man alive. Jules, actually Steve is behind them. He's going for the medic. He forces the Uber pop out onto them. But they still win mid though, so they're going. It's not the worst thing in the world for either team. They get forced, they get capped. I think both teams are going to be happy about that.
Yeah, and now a 5v4 situation as Deox picks up a pick on. He picks up a penguin on that cave side. Whereabouts is Nesh as well on the Sniper? He's sat down near... Oh, he's moving over to the Spire. He's going to snipe from the top of Spire, where he's got a tiny little sight line just through choke there. And he's got some good visuals, but it looks like T's come in from a cave. Nobody's seen him. He gets onto Nesh, and now he's going to surely take him out. No, he misses a few of his rockets. He does eventually get him. And there's the Sniper negated for iOS. They do have their own Sniper, Seagulls. Zoosh on that Sniper class, but Swedish Santa not using this Uber charge.
Yeah, that does make you wonder. Like, the Sniper came out, but I was like, didn't they have Uber advantage? Maybe didn't they be pushing, not like pulling out the pick classes? Well, anyway, like they pulled out the Sniper and they just agreed to like hold second the game. It seems they're just not confident about their mid push at all. It seems.
Yeah, another passive play is going to ruin another opportunity for iOS.
Oh, Shalala goes down. And no, that seems like the extent of it. No greater play coming out. It seems like, Deox is just poking Cali, maybe moving a bit aggressive, but in the end it's still just gone back to a stalemate. No big play coming out of Shalala's death either.
But T's managed to sneak in from the porch area. He's forced the Uber out of Swedish Santa, and now iOS have been forced to push forward here. Exo still has his Uber on the bottom entrance into log room there, and Jules on really low health. Deox behind as well. He's going to be able to flank after all of this.
They take out the medic. It seems like it all comes down to if blue team can just pick out all these combat classes now. And that's what they're doing. They're doing just that. They just managed to scatter and just create this frantic, chaotic situation and just pull out all the frags. It was a good job on, on Seagull's terms to like take out the medic immediately, but that Uber was taken away. Like, that medic didn't matter anymore. It just seemed like the incorrect player to go for after the Ubers were exchanged.
And now things kind of stabilizing again around mid and second. I think as well, it's fair to say that these stalemates that we're seeing here, I don't think they're caused by the map dynamics at all. This map, a very open map, not one that you can lock off very easily. It's not Granary-esque. Yeah. And yet we're still seeing this incredibly passive play. Maybe it's the sniper sight line's playing a slight part, but I think it's team mentality and the golden cap doing the majority of the work.
Yeah, it's such an open map, really. It's one of the most open map I've ever seen, and it seems like you know, you can take the Granary. As the crits comes out, it actually takes out the medic on the IO team. I didn't even see that coming, so neither did Seagulls. But Seagulls managed to just like collapse in onto that the blue team, just taking out all these picks. But Swedish Sands managed to stay alive. He's backing out to mid with his, I believe, roaming soldier or pocket soldier. It's still Steve. Ickfees. Are you sure that's Ickfees? Ickfees. Okay. Yeah. Anywho, they're just building out the Uber on mid here. They've got a solid like 60% advantage. They're probably just going to push in, but it is crits, mind you. And you know, Seagulls are going to know this. Hopefully they're going to adapt to it as well. Just holding closer, maybe taking out those players and, you know, putting them into that panic situation, or maybe they'll just like play so passive that they can't get caught by this crits at all.
I think playing passively would be a terrible idea in this situation. The map dynamics allow for a lot of aggression from the defending team as well, but it looks like they're moving through this cave and they've got the crit screen. They're trying to spot out, but the bomb is coming in from T, but Swedish Santa and Buhen hadn't committed there. So they're just buying time for the Uber to come up from XO. And now they've transitioned over to Chuck, but there's a flank from T. He puts 2 nice rockets onto Swedish Santa, but Buhen has had the crits popped off.
He's used the crits, yeah.
And the rest of his team's so far back that they're not going to do anything with this crit streak, and XO needs to build his Uber up so that they can defend Spire.
Yeah, they've managed to push out the majority of the team now, and they've left these scouts scattered. But Cali with the big bomb in just like decimates all these like scouts trying to pick off these these leftover players. Now they're just going to ride this momentum, and they're just going for this medic. They take out Tim, and it's just Ickfees out of mid now. He gets destroyed by the entire team, and they're just going to cap out this mid. The momentum swing has just changed back into Seagulls' play, even with the crit screen coming out. They've got a full Uber advantage. They're just going to carry on moving now, and Desperate Times has brought Nesh out into Sniper, but it seems, actually no, they've slowed it back down, okay. Oh no, they're starting to rotate around to Cave, they're just checking all the spots as Shalala gets picked by the Sniper, slowing down the game just a bit more. Those are the picks that you need, especially when it comes to Spire, when you need that Spire quickly capped by the Scout. They come in with the Uber, they pop the Uber now. Cali takes a load of damage there, but his Demoman just backs him up. He brings down the pocket soldier and leaving Swedish Santa to retreat back to last. Meanwhile, in Spire, they get all the players capped onto that as the soldier goes aggressive onto this Demoman here, but he gets picked by Buhen.
And they've done a lot of damage here. Buhen and Jules were both incredibly weak, and they have 2 picks. So they could have possibly pushed with that, Seagulls, but they decide not to. They're just going to try and build up their Uber. They do have a slight Uber disadvantage. Swedish Santa on 60% compared to XO's 35. I don't think we're going to see a push out here from iOS though. They would need some kind of pick. They might end up taking lobby from Seagulls, but there are some sticky traps around from Kane. There's one in upper lobby on that ramp section. There's another one on the left hand side, I think.
Just look at Seagulls here, all of them positioned onto this Spire. They just realise that this Spire is just like very, very powerful when it comes to defending. There's such height advantage with a little health pack as well to sustain yourself. But as they get that Uber just closer to even now, they're just going to move into the lobby and secure that.
Yeah, and now the Uber has come out from XO through this top left. Calico leading the charge. He's switched off his conch play, and now he's got caught in by Ichthy's, and they've lost 2 on the flank as well, so the team of iOS are going to be able to push out here. They might even secure a pick onto Shalala as well, who's still around in the lobby area. He's going to attempt to get onto Swedish Santa, and he's backed up a little bit by Kane and XO, but they're just locked in way too far.
He's going to last. He's fighting the soldier one-on-one, but forcing these 2 players to come back for blue team. But these 2 soldiers, the soldier and the Demoman, are doing fine by themselves, pushing to Spire into 3 players by themselves. It's, you know, amazing to see, but it seems like they do a quick head count, realise how many players they have, and turn it back around onto the Demoman. And as things get shaken up here. Like Swedish Santa still has his Uber advantage, but it's starting to get a bit scrappy here with Seagulls just like leaking players in left, right, and centre, just trying to make something happen. Almost frustrated about how long this is all taking. And it's like I think it's timed out. Stalemate again.
And here's where the timer is a terrible idea, because had that carried on, we would have seen a round end. But as it is, we're just gonna re-roll again. So we're going into our, oh goodness me, what is it? It's our third golden cap of this round, of this map. It's our fourth golden cap of the night.
Oh my.
This is getting pretty ridiculous.
I'm just going to contact my loved ones to say I love them, and I wish to see them again.
If you die of starvation or malnutrition at your PC, never fear, because you'll be joined by me and all our stream viewers. But we have gone live to our first
straight into
first mid. Yes, we are. Take us away.
Both teams just feeling out each other. Both staying to their the relative sizes. Both soldiers jump in at the same time and knock into each other. What a play, if you could call that a play. And then now it's just back to square one. But now it's Jules' turn to jump in, but he doesn't meet Callie in the air, I'm afraid. And Callie actually kills him the respective way and just like playing all defensive and not bumping him into the air. And this loses the fight for iOS.
Yeah, it does. And Seagulls have managed to secure this midpoint. They have a single pick advantage, but it's going to be an Uber v Uber. They look like they want to push and be aggressive with this, though. They're sick of waiting around.
They need to go to bed at some point. Callie getting a big bomb. He forces them betting first, and he still gets the Uber onto him. What a play by Callie. And now the Uber's getting like swapped all over the place. Callie with these big kills. He gets like a wall shot onto the soldier and it kills the medic straight after. And his team's just there to back him up. Say it ain't so. This is it for iOS. They've only got 2 players up. They're both injured. They're capping Spire. Will they push into last before the respawners come back up?
Time has been added.
It looks like they're making their way into the last point at the moment. They have a little bit of cap time, and Calico is on Taboo and manages to take him down, but they've lost everybody else. And it looks like this is going to be the defense from iOS with only so managing to escape.
Well, who's done this? Has Seagull just foolishly thrown it away? Have they just, thrown it, just completely thrown it by like, just not pushing in on their advantages? They had the entire team just like on their knees, but they decided they just needed like 4 players to cap that spy.
Yeah, and that didn't work out for them. They should have been more aggressive, and we keep saying this, but it's not happening. They're not listening to us, TurboTabs.
Yes,
they need some aggression in order to finish this off. And some coordination, but they do have a big Uber advantage actually. They've managed to work one. Swedish Santa not building correctly because they didn't have that big an advantage to start with. I don't know whether they'll know. They're coming through this left-hand side though. Shalala and Kane leading.
He's taken down 1 scout. Can he get any more frags onto the board? As they take out the soldier there. They still need to take out the stone man though, but they're all isolated in the same area. They're all pinching them right. But the Uber comes out. That's exactly what they need, but can they, with just 2 players to clean up all these frags, will it be too difficult? Like... Yeah,
Seagulls really need to put heals on people and get in now quickly before their spawns come in again. And the Shalala and Calico really trying to finish off Nesh behind the point.
The respawners are coming back in there.
Yeah, and this is going to be a terrible position for Seagulls to be back in. They took too long about it. They couldn't finish off those frags and get aggressively onto the rest of the team. They weren't transitioning over. They were sat on the other side of the last point, and the spawners came in, and now Seagulls in a horrible position. They might not be able to defend here. Exo really low health. He's going to get caught by a sticky, and he does go down. But Kane has picked up 2. He's picked up Deox and Buhan. So they might be able to defend the Spire here. Swedish Santa, as he runs away, gets a nice pick onto Calico. But T's going to follow him down. He's going to chase him out. No, he's been stopped by Nesh firing scatters into his back.
Okay, I think things are starting to even out now. Things are starting to calm down and go back into like a slow, stalematey pace that we used to. It seems that last hold, that sticky trap on point was doing so much work. It was just completely scaring Seagull to do anything. None of them would like go onto that point whilst the stickies were on there. It was just creating so much time for them just to get those respawners and win back the fight.
Yes, it is, and now Swedish Santa has 100% Uber. They to have such an uber advantage. It was something like 70%, but they're not pushing out with it. They're just sat on last, content to hold. They're throwing away opportunities. Now they peak into upper lobby, but EXO already on 70%, and Swedish Santa just gives them a buff and runs back to last. I don't know who's main calling for this iOS team, but they need to get their stuff together.
Like, I think I can sympathise. They're just nervous. They know if they fuck up this, then they lose. Because, like, whilst they fuck up mid, like, you know, they can still defend back at last. If they fuck up second, they can still kind of defend at last. If they fuck up in between there, that's when they start losing game.
Deox now is on Spy. He is behind the med at the moment, manages to take down Kane before he dies.
What a pick.
But T's come in and kills. Calicool comes in and kills Swedish Santa. Swedish Santa actually drops.
And the
so this
goes
surely
down.
is going to be a round.
There's no sticks and point.
This has got to be a round, even without Kane. Only Nesh left alive, and here we have it. TurboTabs, hallelujah.
Oh my god, if we were on a stage, I would hug you right now. Not for just the exciting game, but it's over. It's done. We have our victors.
And the victors are the Seagulls, who managed to take the other game to a golden cap as well, and they won that. So Seagulls currently 2-0, and both the other teams in this mini round robin 0-1. So that means we are going to be our last game of the night is going to be again on Logjam. If you guys aren't log-jammed out already, you will be by the end of the night. We've had far more TF2 than we were anticipating here on Team Fortress TV with all of these golden caps. Our next game is going to be iOS against Project 01. But before we move into that, before we go through rosters and things, let's have a look at those logs of the last golden cap there.
Alright, I'm just trying to load up these logs here, but who do you think your man of the match, just from watching with your eyes, just like, what do you feel was like, I'm not talking about paper, but like, who was your man of the match from just watching the game?
My man of the match in that golden cap has got to be Cali. He had some big plays. He came in at the end there and hit some lovely rockets onto Swedish Santa to drop him, and in the end, he did secure the game for his team.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. Not just at the end point. Like, he was doing great throughout the entire Golden Cap. He was just like doing these big Ubers and just destroying teams, decimating them. It's wonderful to see.
I'm not laughing at you, sorry. Yeah, everything that you say is completely valid. I'm laughing because our production team has just told us that for the third match of this round robin, Project 01 has just gone for a default loss. They've given up. It's too late for their team. They can't stay up at this time of night. It's already 22 CET.
Oh man,
they weren't expecting it to go to 4 golden caps. Was it 3? No, 3 golden caps. Yeah.
I think I just got into the Logjam spirit there. Like,
yeah, I just got hyped.
Like, never have I been so happy to see some more TF2, and now it's just been taken away from me.
It has, yeah. So that means that Seagulls are going to be progressing through to the knockout stage. You're going to be seeing more of EXO, Shalala, Kane, and the others. Suyooo says he is still talking to an admin. Something might happen, so that's not completely confirmed that they've had a default win, but it looks likely.
My wish has been granted. There's hope. There's hope.
So so in second place, that's going to leave the International Oral Sex team, famed, renowned for their international oral sex. If indeed the rumours of a default win are correct, and yes, they are. The default is confirmed. That is going to be the conclusion for our Logjam tiebreaker night. The triple header turned into a double header, but still lasted longer than a triple header, TurboTabs.
You could almost say it was international head.
International head. Yeah, you could. You could almost say that, but you probably shouldn't. Thank you very much for sticking with us throughout those golden caps. Some of them incredibly passive, but I hope you'll agree we tried to make the most of it. That was just a flavour of Logjam. Coming up in a while, a few days, are going to be the knockout series of the tournament where things start to get really serious. So yeah, I have been Sideshow. With me on the microphone has been TurboTabs, and Suyooo has been our delightful caster, keeping everything running and keeping us informed. Yes, I will be streaming my i52 footage now. So check that out as well. Another shameless and another selfless shame plug.
Yep.
So thank you very much for watching. Any final thoughts, TurboTabs?
Wonderful games, wonderful cast. Thanks for letting me join.
Wonderful golden cap rules.
Okay, I'll see you all later. Tune into the next cast.
Yes, thank you very much. Goodbye.